I'm joined with Steven Rodas, editor of TAPinto Camden. How are you today, Steven?
I'm great, Stephanie. Thanks for having me on.
Steven, can you tell us about the march that took place in Camden this past Saturday?
Over the weekend on Saturday, there was a protest in solidarity for George Floyd. Some 200 people gathered in downtown Camden, and this included not only members of the community and residents, but the police officers, who work in the city, including the police chief himself, who led the march with organizers. And I think that, similar to what's happening in Flint, Oklahoma City, and Houston, there has been a sort of change in the conversation around, what it means to protest. The officers marching alongside with the organizers has sort of led to different conversation around, the topic of police brutality.
Steven, you recently spoke with Yolanda Dever, who organized this past weekend's protest. Can you tell us a little bit more about your conversation with her?
When she first saw the video and when she was first struck with the idea to have a sort of protest in solidarity with George Floyd, she wanted to join people in Minneapolis. She wanted to go to Minnesota herself. Ultimately, because of safety reasons, she decided that she would instead have one in her own city. Somebody from the department reached out to her via her Facebook post. Ultimately, the chief himself asked to join the march, which sort of all happened organically. So she had the idea, the department joined in, and then it all became a sort of thing that, united the community. Yolanda is a resident before Saturday, and she even told me this. She wasn't an activist necessarily. She wasn't someone that was an organizer. She had this idea. She kept talking about a feeling in her heart that she sort of followed. And now she's become this sort of pseudo expert on this topic. And she thinks that that actually is better for, the movement or the message, because anyone could relate to her. She's not someone that necessarily did a bunch of things to get to this point where she could do this. She had a feeling, followed it through, and now President Obama is referring to the march that she organized in a blog post that he put on Medium. People around the country are propping up Camden as somewhere that is what should be followed when it comes to these types of moments in our history.
I know that Camden has really done a lot to address concerns within the community and strengthen the relationship between the police and the community.
For somewhere that at some point, 2 decades ago was considered one of the murder capitals in the US, fast forward to now, it's a stark contrast.
Steven, thank you so much for joining me today and reporting on this extremely important topic. Please tell people where they can read the full article.
Thanks so much, Stephanie. They can read it at TAPintocamden.net.